Hello and welcome back. All right, so remember that Alexandria is a city in Egypt, and Ptolemy was born there. He was from Alexandria, and Alexandria, that city, was named after Alexander the Great, who was king of Macedonia, an ancient city in Greece. Alexander the Great, he was a king, yes, after his father Philip. Philip II was killed. Then Alexander the Great became ruler of Macedonia, an ancient city in Greece. Anyway, Alexandria, the great city in Egypt, right? Ptolemy was there. And Ptolemy believed that Earth was at the center of the universe until Nicholas Copernicus and Galileo said, no, Ptolemy. Remember that Ptolemy starts with a P, a silent P. No, Ptolemy, Earth is not at the center, it's the sun, all right? And planet Earth orbits around the sun. Okay, great. I want us now to remember the order of how first Alexander the Great had to die before the Hellenistic period or the Hellenistic era was to start. During the Hellenistic period, Greece was at its best because that great peninsula, Greece, capital Athens, was flourishing during the Hellenistic time. This was BC, before Christ. Alexander the Great dies in 323 BC, before Christ. And the Hellenistic period starts, and then the Byzantine Empire, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire, starts. All right, so how are we going to remember this order? Let's see how it sounds. Alexander the Great dies. The Hellenistic era begins. The Byzantine Empire starts, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire. Again, Alexander the Great dies. The Hellenistic period begins. The Byzantine Empire starts, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire. Alexander the Great dies. The Hellenistic period begins. The Byzantine Empire starts, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire. So that's the order. Alexander the Great had to die before the Hellenistic period began in Greece. Greece flourished, and then after that, it was the Byzantine Empire took over because of the Roman troops, right? They didn't like that Hellenistic era. They wanted to rule, and so the Romans took over a lot of the eastern countries, probably from Greece all the way to India, and they called that the Byzantine Empire, capital Constantinople, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire. There's always magic.